Hi, I'm Joe Darin. I am a comic resilience coach, and I help people grow through what they go through. I use strengths, humor, and story to help individuals and teams recover from burnout, build resilience, and feel like they actually belong again at work and at life. I've had an interesting journey to get here. I had several jobs where I was laid off or not welcomed, and it was a tough journey to have to go through that, particularly with having some pretty severe medical issues. But when I was laid off from my last job, I decided that if I'm going to work for an idiot, it might as well be me. And I hung out my shingle and started doing coaching using Gallup's Clifton Strengths or Strength Finder. And so I've been doing that for a number of years, which I absolutely love. But as I'm growing in my coaching, I wanted to have more formal techniques and training. So I decided to become an ICF certified coach to help refine how I do things. Um, and so what I'd want people to hear is it's never too late to pivot. My mom got her doctorate at like 55 or something like that. Got her master's at 50. My dad got his pilot's license at 50. It's never too late to pivot if it makes you happy. So follow that. At one point, I started a master's in counseling program and realized that I didn't want to hear people just complain about their lives without doing anything about it. And so I kind of set that aside. But my mom was a coach's coach. Like I remember back just probably out of high school, maybe college, I don't remember exactly when, going to a Coachville weekender with her. She really loved coaching and was amazing at it. And so when I was working for the state and it just wasn't working out, working out, and then I worked for a couple of private companies and that wasn't great. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't inspired. So when I was laid off, I thought, you know what? StrengthsFinder and coaching that helped me understand who I was. So if I can help other people with that, I would like to be able to do that. And so that kind of started my more focused journey, but coaching's always kind of been on the periphery. I like helping people, and mom was the best inspiration for that. My coaching business is still growing. I work for a community college that has a government training academy, and I do a lot of training workshops for state workers. But we also are contracted with one of the larger state agencies out here to provide executive coaching. And so my supervisor asked if I wanted to be a part of it. In order to be a coach through that program, I had to be ICF certified or in process, which is when I joined CTEDU. So I said, heck yeah. And so I've been training these executive leaders for the past couple months while I'm going through the program, and it's been fantastic. So I'm trying to build up the coaching aspect. I do a lot of workshops on strengths and strength development and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to grow it, and I'm excited to be working with the organization and the things that we have going on as well. The vision for my coaching business is for me to just be like swimming in money and being like world no. I want to help people. I been through a lot medically, brain tumor, heart surgery, things like that, and helping people bring some humor to what they deal with, like I mentioned earlier, like help people grow through what they go through. As a coach, I'll work with people to try to find perspective and hope that they carry somewhere with them, but sometimes we just need to pull it out. And so I'm hoping that after as the ICF certification gets finalized and um, stuff like that, I'm hoping to continue to grow and help people. For someone wanting to become a coach, I'd say make sure you understand what it entails and how it's different from consulting. Consultants are there to give answers and to show people how to do things. Whereas as a coach, I feel, and certainly been reinforced through this program, that coaching is about helping people find the answers themselves, guiding them through the conversations, asking them questions that they might not have thought of, and helping them get there that way. So it's fairly different from consulting. So if you want to do it, do it. It's an amazing job if you can do it. The other thing to just kind of keep in mind is um, being sustainable early is difficult. Like I would recommend doing it as a side hustle first before you dive into trying to do it full time, just to make sure that you can pay your bills first and as you establish yourself. I'd like to tell someone younger than me to follow their dreams and hearts, right? With strengths, we talk about how we're told growing up you can do whatever you want, but it's not really the case. We're going to really find success when we do something we love and we're good at. And so don't try to put a square peg into a round hole. Follow what you're good at and what you love to do, and everything else will follow. Um, Life's too short to work 8 to 5 in a job that makes you miserable. Insight and hope. That's what coaching means for me. It allows me to be who I am. Um, Hopefully, as I grow this business, and it becomes financially sustainable, that will also help. But it really, like last week, I was coaching somebody and I had them think a little bit differently than they had anticipated. And they said, you know what, I've had this meeting like with 3 other groups of people, and no one made the suggestion that you asked me about. You really earned your money today. And I'm not sure I liked the idea that it was transactional, but this idea that like I helped him find perspective that he wasn't expecting. I love that kind of stuff. Helping people um, find hope. Right? One of my dear friends and colleagues, who's also a professional colleague, once told me that my coaching is like a warm hug. And so I try to do that. I try to make people feel safe and cared for without telling them what they should be doing. I learned most, I think, about my own assumptions on how I should be coaching. The first couple weeks were a challenge for me because it was challenging the way I coach. And once I understood the value that the ICF framework brought and the structure it brought to my coaching was really, really helpful. Like with the framework that John Williams introduced in the program with the time model, which is asking people for their topic, how does it impact them, how do we measure it, and then kind of repeating it back to make sure we're on the same page. It's such a powerful way to frame the conversation as opposed to just like, what do you want to talk about? And so having some more techniques and framework was incredibly helpful. Well, I wouldn't be able to do the coaching for the state agency if I wasn't in the program. But the reason I chose CTEDU in particular for the ICF program um, is the person I talked to at the very beginning when I was doing my research. So Brittany was amazing in trying to answer my questions and things like that. And the way she made it sound and the reality matched was that it wasn't just a training program, it was a community and that there's a lot of support even after you graduate. So, for example, they're working on the coaching app to help people find coaches. Well, that's also going to help me. And so that should help me grow my business. So that's going to be the main way for sure. Again, after some pushback on my part, um, it really refined how I coach using frameworks, using some of the techniques. I'm gonna sound kind of braggadocious, but I feel like I'm a natural coach. Like I'm very empathetic. That's my number one strength theme is empathy. So I listen to people, I care deeply about people. But the program helped me aim it better instead of it just being kind of out there and a little wild sometimes. The program really helped me refine it. That's I think the word that really comes to mind is refining it. Um, and I don't know if this is the appropriate place to do it or not, but the practice coaching that we did and the cohort base that we had was amazing. Like we became family. We've kept in touch after the program has ended. We do a lot of texting, a couple calls here and there. And so creating that community in a cohort was just amazing. There were a lot. The practice coaching that we did in class brought out a level of vulnerability for me that I wasn't expecting. Like the way I was able to open up with people, and them opening up with me as well. I never felt it was one-sided. That basic time concept that they introduced, the framing of the conversation, once I figured out how to do it right, because again, I was kind of resistant. I'm like, I don't like structure. I really don't. But once I kind of understood the value of it, it became a really powerful thing. And I've had several clients be like, when I ask them, what topic do you want to talk about? They say, I don't know. And then as they're kind of thinking about it, it coalesces. But having that question helps them find out what they want to talk about truly. And so that was really helpful. I do also, I don't know if this is the right time or not, but I have to shout out to John, Rebecca, and Islam, our instructors. Were just amazing, welcoming, just it instantly created psychological safety when we started for all three of them. It was fantastic.